I'd forgotten how quick 3 minutes was. I need to warn you, right? I need to warn you that loads of these, way more than half have already checked out. Way more than half. And you know how many hundreds of these we sell. This is row 6. Row 6, there it is. Now they are flying geese. They are not kites. We had it changed for you. Look, there you go. We had it changed.
Thank you, John. Thank
You're
you.
very welcome. So that's the row we're doing. Now, then, if you look closely, no, look closely. They're not all the same. I don't mean fabric. I mean, if you look closely, look at that purple one. It's slightly different, isn't it?
It is.
Tis
Well
there.
spotted. Well spotted.
That's what I mean. These new glasses, it cost me so much money. They've got to do some work, haven't they? Anyway, so you know what it is each month we've done a different row. So I will show you all of the rows. We haven't done the stars yet. That's next month, right? But we have done the grass. We've done the zebra crossing. We've done the flowers. We've done the houses. We've done the shop and trees. Today we're doing the flying geese. Next month we're doing the stars and the binding. I know. Beautiful, isn't it? So this is this month. Now, if this is the first time you've seen it, you're going, oh, I have got a few of every single month up to now, right? So you can start it now. You can start it now. If you love it, have you seen how many people have posted their pictures on Facebook? So many people do this. And what Yvonne wants you to do is she wants you to do something different. You don't have, I mean, you can do it identical to the pattern if you want to. But if you want to do something slightly different, you do something different. And I'll show you that because Yvonne does hers. She hates doing anything twice, doesn't she? So she always changes it the second time she does it. So I'll show you hers in a minute. Anyway, so this here is called the Flying Geese row. So for your $31.99 in here, you get all your flying geese and you get the sky. Right? Everything you need in there to do this row is in there. That's what your finished row will look like. And then that's just a close-up there. There you go, that's it there. So if you've already got the first 5, this is number 6. Welcome to row 6. Welcome. Right, that's $31.99. We will be demonstrating, Yvonne will be demonstrating how to do that next in a minute. What I thought I'd do is that quickly, if you are new, you want to see the other 5 rows, then they're here. They're coming up now. So week 1, we did a special deal, right? Week 1, we did a special deal where you get both. You got row 1 and row 2. Someone's had this one open, Yvonne. So for your 14, now we did a special deal as well, $49.99. So your first row here was your grass squares, right? But look, everything you get in here, you get machine needles, you get 2 threads, you get your quick unpick, you get your fabrics, you get your instructions, everything you need in there. So this for $49.99, this was, so we did 1 and 2 together, basically. This was 1 and 2. That's 1. Then number 2 is the zebra crossing with the cat going across it. Quality of fabric is immense. Everybody's talking about how much they're loving doing it. And without all Village Fabrics projects, everything is designed and explained and everything to the nth detail. You don't have to do a cat if you don't want a cat. You can do a dog. You can do a peacock. You can do a pig. Do what? Hedgehog. Do a hedgehog. What did you do on yours in the end? Oh, I'll show you. I'll show you in a second. Right, okay, so that's 1 and 2 together. You get both those together for your $49.99. Then the next week was the flowers. And each month you do something different. So in the flower month, there was a plique with your bias binding and all sorts going on in there. But look at, you get threads, you get fabrics, all different skills in there. $32.99 that month. $32.99 was that month. And have you got the dates there by any chance, Hannah? So they've all been demoed. So week 1 and 2, month 1 and 2. Hang on, it was...
Was it May? Some point in May?
Can't remember.
I can't.
May.
No idea.
18th of May was the first one. 18th of May, if you want to go to YouTube, you can do. Then the second one, which was this one here. 22nd of June. 22nd of June was flowers. And again, you got all your thread, all your fabrics and everything in there. You do get the flower fabric in there, so I just can't see it at the moment. Then the following month, was the houses. Now again, this is how Yvonne designed it. You don't have to do them in that row if you don't want to. You can put them whichever order you want to, because it still makes the same size up, doesn't it?
Yep.
27th of July, this one was, row 4, houses. Beautiful. And again, in that one there, you get all your fabrics, get your roof tiles, everything. Beautiful. So what was that then? Was that, what's the skill in that month? How was it?
That was just precise piecing.
Precise piecing.
Because you're doing some little half square triangles in there. They're quite small.
Okay.
The houses on the end there, they're a little bit more difficult.
Complicated.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Then the following month with the trees and the... Now, the shop, you can make whatever you want, because on the original one, it said Village Shop. I'll show you in a second, Yvonne's second one, the one that she's made in a second. But again, you can put them in whatever order you want to put them in. If you want the shop at the end and the row of the trees here, you can do whatever you want, because the finished length is the right length. There it is, row 5. And the Village Shop there is embroidered on, if I remember correctly. So you can do whatever you want. You can have it shut if you want. Could be the pop-in shop in my village. 17th of August is the day that one was demoed. Could be a little coffee shop if you want it to be. Could be the Cubic Bar in Catalonia. Okay, then we're on to this month again, right? So then we can move on to the... this is the one that's available this month, which is your Flying Geese. Oh, sorry, hang on. There's your Flying Geese. That's this one. Block of the month, Flying Geese. Are we putting the graphics in for that, Han? Elliot, stop putting her off. And why have you got the lights on in there? $31.99. That's the one you're going to see demoed today. Right, now, before we go to Yvonne, I'm just going to show you, that's the original one you're seeing there, right? So this is what Yvonne's second one. Now, like I said, Yvonne doesn't like doing the same thing over and over again. So if you notice, this second one here, she's got butterflies on a zebra crossing. She's got a ladybird on her flowers. She's got her houses in a different order. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4. This was the first week. We did both of these in the first month. Then we did that one. Then we did that one. And then last month we did the shop, right? The shop is not attached to here at the moment. Yvonne, why isn't the shop attached?
Because we're kind of halfway up the
This is Yvonne, by the way. Say hello, Yvonne. Sorry.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
Hi,
morning.
I'm back.
Like a bad penny, like a bad smell.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Hang on. Before we do any of this, you haven't been in since your show thing, have
No,
you?
I haven't.
It went brilliantly, didn't it?
It did. I had such a warm welcome from all the customers, and really very grateful customers that we had managed to put a quality event into the island of Ireland this year.
Yeah.
And it was a great joy. It was really very good fun. And I worked very hard, but I enjoyed it.
The thing is, like they say, if you do a job that you love doing, it's not like doing a day's work. And yes, it will have been exhausting because you were here like the day before, then you flew out, then you had to sort
and then we were working at schoolhouse things, which were little demos, and besides getting everyone unpacked and set up, working with the hotel to provide lunches for people and teas and coffees.
But also still working within strict COVID rules and
absolutely. And some of the very positive comments that came back were about how safe people felt and having the big wide aisles that allowed them to see each of the stands.
Do you think people, because the Festival Quilts was the same, wasn't it? They had the wide aisles. Do you think people will have now learned from this and gone, actually, it's better to have the wide aisles because people still shop as much, don't they? I think in the past they've thought, cram as many people as we possibly can, but it puts people off looking at stalls, doesn't it?
I think the wise people will learn.
Yes.
The greedy people will continue to work as they've always done.
So next year, because you've already announced the dates for next year.
We intend to grow the show organically. So we're going to COVID permitting, we're going to put maybe another 6 stands in. But we're taking a bigger chunk of the hotel. We're hoping we might get some classes. Again, COVID dependent.
Of course.
But equally, we're going to retain our little demo area, our schoolhouse area. And I have a new concept that I'm working on to put in a product pavilion so that we can have experts explain how some of the gadgets work to the customer. So it's an opportunity for people to sell, but equally it's an opportunity for the customer to learn.
But also, all of that, it's a fabulous weekend out, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. They had such a whale of a time at the Stormont Hotel. It's a really nice hotel. The staff were absolutely wonderful. And they just enjoyed the whole atmosphere. People wanted to be there. There were smiles on faces behind masks. You couldn't really see, but eyes were dancing. So a wonderful time.
So what date's it next year then?
1st, 2nd and 3rd of September.
So there you go. So it's the 1st, 2nd, 3rd September. It's called the Quilting Fair.
It's Quilt Fair.
Quilt Fair.
Quilt Fair.
And it's in?
The Stormont Hotel in Belfast.
There you go. So book your flights now?
Well, absolutely. Or, you know, get a coach together, come across on the ferry. The ferry comes into Belfast and it's a 20-minute drive from the docks.
So there you go. Anyway, we'll tell you more about that as the year goes on. Right. So this is halfway through. Is that what we're saying? So
yeah.
You want people to stop?
So I think it's going to be easier to put 2 halves together as to continue building up from one end.
Right.
So in front of me, I have last month's row, which was the foundation pastries and I now have Village fabrics with some little window boxes here with some flowers. And I have another little butterfly on my topiary tree here.
Yeah.
So the one thing I've had a couple of messages from people, and I just want to say that on the templates, the outside line around the paper piecing templates does include the seam allowance.
Oh, can we see that, Emma?
There is
Leave it there. That's a brilliant.
There is a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. So there is an inside line and an outside line. I think the instructions say then the 1/4 inch seam allowance is not included. It actually is. And I've answered any queries that anyone has had, and everybody is fine.
So the actual, where do you sew that then? When you've done all of those, obviously all your lines and everything are done.
You need to actually have your fabric covering right to the outside line.
And then when you join them together, you sew on the inside line.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay.
Right, we had a picture. I've got a picture. What a picture. What a photograph. It's from... Lynn by the Sea in Cornwall. Here's my quilt so far. This is my first attempt at FPP, and I thought it was going to be really hard, but it wasn't. I love doing it. I'm looking forward to doing row 6 now. It's good to see you and John. Hang on. It's good to see you back, John. Bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. It won't last, Lynn. It won't last. Love to all at Saying Street from Lynn by the Sea. Look at the view out of her window.
I know.
That was like where we stayed in Kefalonia.
Oh, it's
very
gorgeous.
Quickly. Emily also says, Can't wait to start the Flying Geese. I love the FPP from the previous one. I've got the hang of it. A lot of work for prep, but for the shapes are so crisp and very satisfying. Hello, Yvonne. That's from Emily.
Yeah.
And then Sue says, good morning, Yvonne. And Felicity also says, love the John and Yvonne banter when they get together. Anyway, so you're suggesting we put the first rows together, put it to one side.
And then this is
last month's.
Yeah, and then this is the first row of the second half.
Yes, so today's will add to that one.
Yes.
So next month we'll then add the stars to that one.
To the top of the...
of your one there.
Yeah.
And then after that we'll put it all together and bind it.
Yes.
And quilt it.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, so what would you like to talk about with this?
Well, Flying Geese. Again, full instructions. Please just do as I say, as always. We have gone through it and we've done our best to make sure that everything is correct. Now, I'm ahead of myself for this month, well, just for once. It has to happen every now and again. And the Flying Geese are actually put together in bundles of 5. So if I just fold that like that.
Right.
That is what a block looks like.
Right.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Uh-huh.
Now, this is the order that we have put them in. You can choose which fabric you put in which position. So you can make up all of your flying geese and then choose which sequence you want them to be in.
Okay.
What you can't do is do that with the purple one, because the fabric quantity for the purple one is different, because that is a different technique for making that goose.
So the purple one has to go in the middle of the strip. Is that what you're saying?
You have to, no, it
Oh,
can
okay,
be
I'm
anywhere,
confused.
but you have to make the folded one out of the purple fabric.
Oh, I see. So,
Yeah.
So you definitely have to make that folded version,
Version.
of which there are 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got to make
make
that
it.
one have the purple one, but all the
Correct.
others, the uppy downy bits, can be any of the others.
Absolutely,
Got it.
yeah. So
So if you wanted, you could do three. Could you do 3
You could
red
put-
ones?
Yeah.
And then a purple one. 3 green ones and a purple one. 3 spotty ones and a purple.
yeah, you're making the same number of each of the geese.
Right.
So make all of the flying geese up,
And then decide.
lay them out, and then go back to your instructions, and you will see that there is, I've called them vertical strips. So on each of your blocks, as you have here, so 1, 2, 3, 4, then the folded goose, yeah?
Yeah.
There are spacers, which are what move the geese across the sky. So there's a
Right.
bigger bit of blue here, smaller here.
Yeah.
Fairly even there, then your small one, larger one. And this number 4, you're only adding a spacer to one edge.
Right.
So I would make all the geese, I'd lay them out, see what arrangement you like best, and then go to this listing and start setting your sky spacers
Right.
in.
So when you make them originally, all the flying geese will be exactly the same size. What are they, 4 by 2 or something like
Correct.
that? Oh, they are
Correct.
4 by 2.
Yeah.
Right. So you make all of your 4 by 2 geese, lay them out, and then you add the spacers on as to where you want them to be. Got
Yeah.
it, got it, got it,
Yeah,
got it.
well done,
Right.
well done. So let's make a flying goose,
Geese.
singular.
Yeah, but it's not just a... Oh, all right then. I'll let her off.
Just
It's my first day back. I'm not going to fight. I'm a lover, not a fighter.
So you have big triangle, which is your goose,
Yeah?
and then you're going to put the air around the goose, aren't you? So that's what you're going to make.
Okay.
So just get yourself lined up. Again, now, because you have done a paper piecing row prior to this, time to put a new needle in your sewing machine, because it's been punching through paper for the
Right.
previous row. So new needle in your sewing machine. Use, get your probably grey thread that we've given you back in month
Oh, yes,
for row
yes,
2. That's probably what you want to use. Set your machine up for your 1/4 inch seam, which I hope I've done on this machine. As always, this row is made on more than one sewing machine, because I do part of it here, I do part of it at home, and Linda has very kindly made some of this for me as well, which is
So
why
it could
I'm
be a
ahead.
right old dog's dinner by the end of this road.
Well, thanks, John. Hopefully the skill levels will allow some...
Okay, and what's on the nails?
That's for the next show.
Oh, okay, don't look at the nails. Don't look at the nails.
Let's do that for the next show, shall we?
Yeah, okay.
Because it's Halloween based.
Oh,
let's
okay.
say, okay.
Don't mention the nails.
Don't mention. Don't talk about the nails. Yeah.
Message to Carol. Welcome back, John and Yvonne. Lovely meeting you at the Belfast Quilt Fair, Yvonne, and loving your tuition. Love from Karen and Ron from Larne.
Okay, just
County
up the
Antrim.
road. Yeah, just up the road. I was born and brought up in Carrickfergus, which is halfway between Belfast and Larne.
Oh. Neve says, hi, Yvonne. Just want to say thank you for a great show. My friends and I drove 4 hours to see ye, and it was all well worth it. Look forward to the next one.
Oh, how kind. How kind. Yeah, so down in County Clare. So, yeah, people came from both the north of Ireland and from the south. In fact, One lady who I haven't seen in a long time came up from Dublin.
Oh, and how far's Dublin then? How far away is that?
There's a very good motorway system in Ireland, and from Dublin up to Belfast, an hour and a half.
Oh, it's not too bad then.
And that would be if you were driving relatively slowly.
Okay, so you do it in about 20 minutes then?
Well, probably an hour and 10, yeah. But it was the warmth that was in the place was just wonderful.
Oh.
Everyone had a smile on their face, and I wobbled there. It was definitely a bit of a wobble. Sorry,
so we'll do another one. We'll do another one to see what's happening.
All I have done is I've sewn one triangle onto one side. I've given it a press. I am sewing the other triangle onto the other side.
And where's
I'm going
the wobble?
to press that. Well,
You
it
can't
didn't
see it.
wobble that much.
Okay. Linda said, great to see you both back. Looking forward to the Halloween things. Ooh. Controversial. Sheila says, good morning. She's missed me. Thank you, Sheila Shah.
Okay, so I have a flying goose.
Right.
Yeah. You should have 1/4 of an inch here.
Yeah.
Trim off the little ears. I just go across this with a pair of scissors, I've got to say. And that is how you make all of your flying geese,
Right.
apart from the folded one, yeah?
Uh-huh.
Now, this particular spotted one would sit on here, yeah? So it only has one spacer attached to it.
If you do it the way that you've done it.
Yeah, and I decided that the only change I was making to this was I was putting a different coloured goose in.
In your second version.
In the second version.
Yeah, because there's nothing to stop you. You won't be offended if someone's got some like Liberty fabrics or William Morris. They suddenly think, oh, my flying geese would look lovely in that. They change the fabric.
Just or something that has some meaning. Not a problem. I suppose the one thing I would say is just for the balance of colour, you want to be careful where you put the red ones.
Yes. Well, there are some people, aren't there, that won't use red. I can't remember who it is now. There's one lady that always messaged me going, I won't ever use red. She won't use red in anything. So she could just swap the red ones, one of her own fabrics, couldn't she?
Absolutely. I think red is one of those colours that whenever you use it correctly, okay, now I've sewn this to the wrong side.
Oh,
so my goose,
no.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Oh.
No.
Oh.
False alarm. I like to keep you on your toes,
Yeah,
John.
totally.
So that is going to sit in there, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, this is a little bit longer than needs be, but that's given me a bit of leeway. So that is how you do one of the flying geese. Now, I have, this is the grey one. So I was just going to go along and sew these spacers in so that you can see that there is shorter ones, longer ones. And then we're going to go on to how to make the folded one. I like folded ones. I think they're easier to stitch than these.
Okay.
There's a little bit of hand stitching involved, which of course I'm always happy to do. So that would be position 1. So we have a big bit and a little bit. This is position 2, so we're very much even on there. Right, number 3. I sewed in the green room earlier, just checking the width of the 1/4 of an inch, so that's there, and that's there. Okay, so I have simply reproduced that. So when it comes to making your folded goose, you have, oh Lord, yes.
What's going on? I thought you said you were all prepared.
Well,
this
I
month.
am. I simply have 4 of these, and I thought I only need 2 to make the flying goose. And I only need 2, but I need 2 as spacers for the top and bottom. that one is going to go there, and that one's going to go there.
Right.
So you start with a rectangle as opposed to a triangle in this instance.
Right.
And you're going to fold that in two. And I'm going to finger press there, but I am just going to give it a little press, nothing too firm, just enough that'll do me.
Welcome back, John. Just to say a massive congratulations to Yvonne and all her hard work for the quilt fair. A wonderful success from a tractor.
Oh, it was a joy to meet a tractor.
She's adorable, isn't she?
She is a lovely lady, and there was a picture of the two of us.
I know.
That you picture bombed, or whatever the word, didn't you?
Nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
Paula says, good morning, Yvonne. It was great to see you at Quilt Fair. It was a great weekend. That was from Paula. That's nice.
So I've put, I folded
Where's
it.
the folding?
Into,
Yeah, where's the fold
right,
one? Okay.
The fold is where my fingers are.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to lay that down on top there. So it is shorter than the square of blue beneath.
Do we have to cut these out, or have you cut them out for us?
No, you have to cut. But
Okay, no, that's fine.
As always, you have your full list of
Yeah.
cutting instructions.
Perfect.
And it tells you what are spacers and the folded geese are. So
Perfect.
again, split them out. So I'm then making a little sandwich of that folded rectangle between the two squares, okay? And then you have to check which edge you are going to sew along.
Right.
Okay.
Which edge am I going to sew along?
I think you're going to sew along that one.
You sure?
No, I always check.
Good.
And what I'm going to do is, whenever I have that seam sewn, I'm going to pull that out. Okay, so I've done the right way. So always check, because otherwise it's a little counterintuitive.
Yes. But it tells you in the instructions to check it. And which one it is,
We've given you a diagram,
Oh, perfect.
I believe. Yeah, page 3, you've got a diagram.
Excellent. Glennie says, still here, John, just resting as I had a tooth extracted last night.
Ooh.
Lovely demo, Yvonne. As always, clear and good instructions. Bernadette says, great watching John and Yvonne. I'm laughing along with them. A great show team. Great news for Yvonne about next year's quilt show. Lots of love from Bernadette. Julia says, welcome back, John. Thank you, Julia. My love.
I say we had such a fun. So, this is one of the few occasions where I tell you to press a seam open.
Oh, okay.
But it does just make it a little bit flatter. Yeah. So we're just going to do that. Oh, come on. There we go. Then, whenever we turn it to the front side, we are going to do that. Okay.
Oh.
So that comes right the way out to here. Again, I tend to tack along this top edge because you have 3 layers of fabric on that block, and you are going to join that onto another layer, so you have 4 layers of.
So it stops it all slipping.
It just stops that moving. But you see, you now have a goose. Yeah.
A different goose.
A different goose, but definitely a goose. What I might do.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm just thinking, if I put that on there, it will just hold the corner of that in place. And this might be the best way to do this instead of tacking across the top. Well, no, I tack across the top whenever I'm doing this. So I would suggest that people do the same if I'm still doing it after all these years then.
Yvonne says, I had a great time at Belfast show. I'll definitely be back next year. Not our Yvonne, this is a different Yvonne. This is Yvonne Alice.
Okay, well, I'll definitely be back next year.
Oh.
I managed to have an odd pint of Guinness, well, half pints.
Did you only have half a pint the whole time you were there?
I had a couple of half pints. I was working quite a lot. And on the Friday evening, I did not do this alone. My friends, Margaret and Helen, were working just as hard as I was. And on the Friday evening, show opened on the Thursday, then Thursday, Friday, Saturday. On the Friday evening, we were so tired we could barely speak to each other.
Oh.
We went for dinner. I had fish and chips, which was very nice.
Good.
But we just sort of sat and looked at each other. It was very quiet. But yeah, couldn't have gone better if we'd planned it.
Yeah.
Right, I'm just trying not to stitch over that pin for once because I think that could be quite nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And right, so I'm going to machine down there. People ask me at what point you want to curve back the edges.
Yeah, at what point do you curve back the edges?
Good question, John. Good question. I do love the way you take a lead. But anyway, what I've done by popping those two sides on is I've really quite secured the top of the... so that is going to go there. So whenever
Right.
I am curving edges back, I think...
Is that what's that fabric, that purple one? Is that a bijou or is that a...
I think it's P&B. I don't think it's
okay.
Macawa.
Okay. We've had that before, haven't we? Is it a Hannah Basic?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. I just recognised it, that was all, but I wasn't sure where from. Sorry.
I'm just not sure.
No, don't worry. Didn't mean to put you on a spot.
No. I normally know.
Yeah.
So what we're going to do, you can sew these curved sides down at whatever point you want.
Right.
But I kind of find that it's better to stitch the block in place.
Oh, before.
And then curve back. Now this is where, again, these little applique pins that I can't live without come in useful.
Available on the website?
They're a Clover product. They're, as always, Clover products are well engineered. So I've curved back there.
Actually, it's a brilliant time to do it because all your points are anchored in the seams, aren't they? So it can't move anywhere.
And you're not curving right down into your seam allowance where you're doubling up more fabric in the seam allowance. So I think this is probably the best time to do it. So put a couple of little pins in, and then you slip hem that down. Very tiny little stitches. Now we have given you, and of course I've lost the thread again. Oh, I know, yeah. As part of the garden row, you had a purple thread. Yeah.
You did indeed.
And
you've lost yours.
I've lost mine. No, I haven't. So this matches, okay?
Right.
And all that you want to do is...
You got a needle. Honestly,
I know, you just can't get the staff, can you? I truly haven't even got a needle, John. Oh, okay. Well, what that is a Clover black and gold applique needle. So it is very, very smooth.
Right.
Has the tiniest eye.
Oh, and you're going to try and do it live on TV.
And I'm about to thread this needle.
While you do it, I shall tell you that Margaret said, what a lovely show, both you. Good to see you back, John, complete with a gorgeous fresh-faced tan. That won't last either. Anne says, nice to see you, John. Thank you very much indeed. We are doing row 6, remember, which is the flying geese. They are not kites, they are flying geese. There they all are. So this one, $31.99, you get all the fabric you need to make your flying geese both flat. Now, if you wanted to do them all flat, could you? Oh, that was a look and a half.
Possibly not.
Okay. No, good. No, good.
Possibly not. Well, if you look in yours,
Yep.
is the piece of purple the same size as the other pieces?
No.
Well,
I can see that straight away.
So then the answer is no, because
Okay.
you need to be able to cut squares to make your triangles for your geese.
Because all the other pieces
are a little wider.
short and fat,
Yeah, they're wider.
and that one's long and thin.
Yes, so
the answer is no.
the answer is no.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, no, I just don't want anyone at home. It's not me being negative whatsoever. I just don't want anyone at home to think, oh, I'm going to do them all the same, not have a curved one, and then not be able to do it. That's all.
Oh, but the curved ones are easy.
No, but they might not like curved ones.
Oh, curves are nice. Look at all that Moroccan and architecture with those wonderful arches and curves.
Oh,
How
yeah,
can you
no,
not
I
like
agree.
curves? Okay, all I am doing is having pinned back that curve, I am now using a matching thread and a very thin needle, which I'm very proud to have said I've threaded on air.
Well done.
And I'm now stitching little tiny upright stitches so that I'm sliding along in below. I'm coming up in the fold and I'm going straight back down so that the thread that is visible is as short as possible, so it's harder to see, and if you're doing it nice and neatly, then you're okay. So I'm simply stitching along that. I think I quite enjoy doing this. I could do this for the rest of the show, but possibly I should be moving on to show you what I have done.
So
with
are your stitches completely hidden then, are we saying, or can you see them?
With your new glasses, John, no, you're still not going to be able to see them.
Well, no, I'm thinking if you wanted to make a feature of them,
You
could
could.
also do like an embroidery thread if you wanted to round them.
You certainly could, and if you're not keen on hand stitching, then choose a relatively narrow embroidery stitch on your machine and stitch down over that curve. Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely. So that is. So you are making your 5 vertical sections. They join together to become one of these.
Right.
Yeah. Then you are going to join.
You're making 4 of those, aren't you?
You're making 1, 2, 3. I think you're making 5 of them.
1, 2, 3, 4. But you've only got 4. You only got 4 purples up there.
1, 2, 3, 4. No.
In my eyes.
1, 2, 3. You're quite right.
4. You're making 4. Everyone, don't try and make 5.
Okay, so that means I've made too much.
Yes.
There we go. Such as
That could be a placemat to go with it.
such as making the samples for demoing.
Yes.
So this row is nearly done. In fact, this row is done. So I have popped a nice black.
Different one. Yes.
Yeah. It's butterflies, so there's been a bit of a butterfly theme going on throughout.
Course, yeah.
So this particular one has some yellow and turquoise butterflies. So 1, 2, 3.
Just one more.
And that one on there, and the row is finished.
Oh.
Yeah. So this is, well, I think it's a bit of fun. Obviously, if you want to clump them in 2s, perhaps, do them 2 red ones, 2 spotty ones, 2 turquoise ones across. That's an option. But I felt that you needed the different one, the folded one, to be separated out across.
Yes.
But if you have a bit of special fabric for whatever reason, this is a good opportunity to showcase it going across this blue background.
Perfect.
Next month is the last row, as John has said, and you will be getting the binding included in that. So we'll talk about some basic assembly together with the stars.
Do we know what date that is yet?
We do. It's the 19th of October, and I don't think it's you. I think it's Vicky. Unless things change.
Why is it not me? What day of the week is it?
It's a Tuesday.
Oh no, no, in October I'm hardly doing any weekday shows at all. It's very strange.
Have you upset someone?
Obviously.
Oh, wow.
Obviously. It doesn't take much in this place. Right. Let me recap before going to, because we've got cushions to do as well.
Well, I know, that was...
Yep. So this is this month. This is your flying geese row. This camera, that's it.
I just want to say I found my original needle now.
Where was it?
Under the paperwork.
Right, so this is this month. There you go. We'll get right. It will be there. You'd think they'd all been away, wouldn't you? $31.99. This is the flying geese row. You could have them fly in the other direction if you wanted, couldn't you?
Well, do you not want them... Well, I'll be back to front, wouldn't you?
No, they're flying that way. They're coming back.
Look, ladies do it, sewers do it whatever way you want to, yeah?
Ignore me is what she's saying. Just ignore that, John Scott.
Right, they're sort of flying south, aren't they? They kind of
but that could be south that way. Depends where you live, I suppose, doesn't it? Anyway, $31.99. I might do 5 going that way, 5 going that way, 5 going that way, and 5 going that way.
You could have them going and meeting in the middle.
Oh,
couldn't you? You could have 2 and 2.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Hi, it's Yvonne from Village Fabrics, and we are on the last row of Village Street. This time we've got a row of stars across the top, 2 different styles, but the interesting thing is the combination of colour that we've used across here and how we've put the different stars together. In the package, this final package that you will receive, you'll also receive instructions as to how to put the quilt together and the binding. So I do hope you've been keeping up and that you're anxiously awaiting the last package to come through your door. I thank you for letting me join you in your living room, and I do hope that you are enjoying and learning through this very enjoyable project.